Hello, hello everyone. Sorry, I just thought I did something wrong then. Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? I hope that you're all doing really well. Where are you guys from? Where in the world are you? I love seeing this in the chat. So it makes me very happy to know where you are all from. How has everyone's week been? Gosh, it's been a week already. Actually, last week, when was it? I think it was Thursday that we did the live. This is so wonderful to be here with you guys here. You taking the time. So, thanks to all of you who had done the poll over on YouTube on one of the posts, and I wrote like a few suggestions, and a lot of you talked about the trauma bond, the blasted trauma bond. God, you guys are from all over the world. Manchester, New York, Canada, Leeds, UK, Buffalo, New York, Hungary, Poland, Finland. Thank you guys for being here. Texas, Minnesota, Portugal, New York. This is so wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. You're from like literally all over the world. I feel so special. Thank you so much. So literally, we're going to be talking about this blasted trauma bond. And it is one of the hardest things to understand. It's not impossible to get over, because you can get over it. Listen, everything in life is possible. Nothing is impossible, all right? But there are certain things that you guys have got to do, and you've got to do this for yourself, all right? So before we get into the video, or into the live rather, I'm so used to saying that. Before we get into the live, click the like button, because you know guys, that it really, really helps me to get this message out there to all those other people that don't know that we're doing a live today, and this information will help others. So thank you. Press the like button. Thank you. Okay. So, who's in a trauma bond right now? Please type yes in the chat. I'm so glad that the videos are helping. Thank you so much. Hello, E. Thank you for joining. So, this trauma bond, all right. Do you know, all right, this is a bit of top fact, that you wouldn't suffer a trauma bond to someone if this was a healthy relationship? Like, if this person is healthy. Oh my God, so many of you are saying yes. My heart goes out to you guys, because I know how difficult this is. But once you understand what this is, you guys are going to get over this, all right? You guys are going to move forward from this and not look back. So, in a healthy relationship, you don't have a trauma bond. You're not traumatically bonded to someone who you just can't let go of, someone who you can't stop thinking about, kind of it going round and round in your mind, like, oh, maybe if I did this, or maybe if I did that, something else would have been different, and I would have stayed with that person, or things would have turned out differently. It doesn't work like that. But I know that in your mind, this is what you're thinking. This isn't normal, right? I just want to say this, that this isn't normal. This is abuse, okay? This is psychological and emotional abuse. How can someone do this? Like, how can someone get you to this point, in your life that you are feeling like this? This is why it's not normal. This is why it's not okay. Okay, and you have to break free of thinking this, right? You have to literally understand that this isn't okay, because this is taking up time out of your life. And it's as simple as that. This is taking time away from you. Not only has this person abused you on so many levels, taken so much already, and you're not even with them, yet they're still taking that from you. So it's really, ultimately, it's choice, okay? It's choice. And you have already taken the hardest step, and that is to leave, because these people draw you back in. Oh, they draw you back in every single time. And they tell you it's going to be different. They tell you that they have changed and that they can't live without you, that they need you. And it's as though they are pulling every part of you back in, your body, your mind, and your soul. And it's entangled. You feel entangled with this person, their energy as well. So toxic, so abusive, and it's that bond, that intertwining. And this starts not at the end, but this starts way, way, way back in the early days of when you guys got together. They started priming you. So they made you fall in love with them, and they kept you there as prisoner. Because once you fell victim, once, you fell in love with them, they started showing their true self. And they started pushing you away. Hot, cold, pulling you in, pushing you away, pulling you in, pushing you away. And all the while, you're trying to figure out just what the F is going on, okay? And you have no idea. You have literally no idea what's going on. And all you want to do is make this person happy. Like, you actually want to make this person happy. And you're trying to figure out. That is the beginning of a trauma bond. Because now, when this person has left, you're thinking, okay, maybe they can change. Maybe they're going to be different. No. This is not how it happens. It's the game. It's the game, my friends. That's what's going on here. If you are enjoying this so far, please, please hit the like button. Sean says, tell me about it. They are weird. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yes. People don't behave like this. You don't do this to another person. So then the end of this relation, or the end of this thing, is it even a relationship? Like, what is this? So you're here now, stuck, thinking about them, wondering what is going on, why this has happened to you. You're trying to figure out the pieces, and all you can do is think and think and think, and also do some more thinking of trying to figure out what has happened. This is the recipe of a trauma bond. So can you see how this overtakes everything? Like, it literally disturbs your being. And the way that you got to think about this, right, is how much longer are you going to put up with this? Because ultimately, first of all, you've got to get strong in your mind, all right? You've got to remember that what you're going through isn't a normal situation, isn't a normal breakup. Rosie, you're going to get through this, and you're not going to cry anymore, okay? You're not going to be crying anymore. And this is it. We're crying, or we're upset, we can't sleep, we can't eat, we're trying to figure this out. We're so stressed, we're so anxious. The thing is, what you have to remember is these people are not okay. right? You know, I've talked about this a lot in my videos. You know, I've talked about this a hell of a lot, and I've talked about the attachment disorder. You know what they're doing here. They just want your attention. Remember, this all starts in childhood. So if you've had a traumatic childhood, like honestly, their childhood has probably been so dark, and this is the reason why they are like that. The trauma that they suffered has broken them to this point. So they need attention. They need this something from you to supply, because they're lost. They are human beings that are lost in life. This is never going to get fixed. This is never ever going to get better. That's it. So you have to make that choice. Do you choose to stay stuck, or do you choose you? You know, it's really sad to see that so many of you are actually going through this. It really is. Like, it breaks my heart to know that you are all suffering this, or you have suffered this. But you know what that says to me? That you are strong and resilient individuals who are going to get through this, who have got through this. There was something about you that attracted this person into your life. So it probably was your kindness, your compassion, your beauty. But above all, it was probably your empathy to be able to understand others, to be able to forgive, to be able to just be you, because you have a beautiful energy about you. And that's why these people come into your life, to disturb your peace. Because you have something that they can't have, that they don't have, that they wish they had, but they don't. So they want to take this from you. And this is why they come into your life and they present themselves as like your soulmate. And come on, it is like, it's amazing. You know, you plan out your life that you're going to stay with this person. And, you know, there's so many things that gel and bond you guys together. And, you know, there's a good period in this relationship. Like, it's going amazing. Like, this is just so wonderful. Like, oh my God. But look what happens. Look what they put you through. The lies, you know, the hiding, many of you have probably gone through cheating, because a lot of them do cheat. I mean, these are things that are like, you know, they break your soul. They really make you question actually what relationships are actually about when someone does this. Thank you so much, very much. Ponies, Pics, Mitch, thank you. Mitch says, only platform I'm on with the narc, LinkedIn, they changed their last name to the new supply. Typical. Everything else, she has her last name because she's blocked on them. The narc will try to shake you. Absolutely, Mitch. You are so right. This is exactly what they do. This is exactly what happens. Look how she is, right, so she's discarded you, I'm kind of guessing. She's got rid of you, and now she's got this new person, and look, she's changed her name. So she's love bombing this new supply because she wants to kind of slide her way in there. Because it's like, you know, you're replaced, that's it. Isn't this weird? I mean, I don't know. Does anyone else find this weird? Because I do. How can you just, you know, like leave someone and then just get with another person? Like, just like that. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It might not just be one. There might be like a few people, you know? The whole thing is just so strange. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this in like psychological terms, right? So as a human being, Okay, when you bond or when you feel attached to someone, you don't just quickly, stop feeling bonded, or you stop loving that person, or, you stop liking that person just like that. It doesn't happen like that, because you don't bond with everybody. You don't feel attached to everybody. There's only like certain people that you will do. So isn't that strange? Like they are just able just to kind of like jump from one person to the next. I don't know. I find that really strange. I think in a post, oh my God, this has just reminded me, like I did a post maybe like 2 or 3 years ago on Instagram, and I did a blog all about it, and it was called Relationship Jumpers. And I thought, yeah, they just jump from one person to the next, getting what they can, kind of like vampires sucking the life out of others. Instead, this is sexual energy that, you go from one person to the next to the next. It's kind of like energetic or sexual vampires. I don't know. That's what I didn't write that in the blog, but I kind of am just thinking that now. Because, it's like they just take, they don't give. So, like in Mitch's situation, she's just taken on somebody else's surname. They're not even married, but she's making it out. So this is the love bombing. This is the, this instability. It's emotional instability that causes this person to do things like this. I don't know. So that is really how this comes about, how this starts. Because what they are looking for is to get attention from as many people as they can. Guys, if you're enjoying this, please do press the like button. That would be great. It will really help me. And also, please do donate. You know that it really helps me. I've gone full-time now. Oh my God, guys, I've gone full-time with YouTube. And I'm really enjoying it. I've always loved YouTube. I mean, how long have I been on YouTube now? It's been like 5 years? 4 or 5 years, something like that. Is there actually, I wanted to ask you guys, is there anyone on here from the early days, like when I first started? I know one person is, and that's you, E. I know that's you. Is there anyone else that's on here that was with me right from the start, or kind of, like when I first started? It would be so interesting to know. If not, that's fine. No worries. They do move on to new people very, very quickly. And that's all about attention. And whichever way that is. It could be, that maybe they need financial. Maybe it's someone who has money. Because remember, every narcissist has different motivations. So it could be about money. The other one, it could just literally, they just need people. Could be sexual gratification. There's, maybe it could be, I don't know, climbing the ladder at work. I don't know. There's lots of different motivations that the narcissist will want to get those needs met, right? So whatever it is, that's what they're going to be looking out for. That's what they want. So the fact that they have left you, or they have discarded you, and then now you're feeling this trauma bond because you don't have any explanation. You have like literally no understanding as to why this is happening. Thank you so much, Mitch. This is the second time. Thank you. So yes, discarded twice. The new supply was a friend. Surprise, surprise. When we weren't together, months to recover till finding someone wonderful, but many hoovers in between. They always watch. Mitch, they will always watch. And yes, they will always come back. They will keep coming back. It's that cycle. It's that, Mitch, I'm so sorry. I completely understand where you are with this, but do you know what? The most wonderful thing is that you realize and you are able to put a label to this. You're able to get past this. And do you know what, Mitch? You will get past this. This is part of the cycle. This is what she is doing to you. She leaves, comes back, pulls you back in, and then leaves again. You might block her, you might whatever, but she'll still pull you in. And again, this is your, remember guys, trauma bond is a choice whether you want to maintain it. And I know that some of you are probably thinking, oh my God, how can she even say that? Has she actually ever experienced a trauma bond? Like, because it is so difficult. It's not a choice. I don't want to feel like this. But everything that we do in life is a choice. It's about perspective. And it's about understanding that actually, you know what? Do I want to feel like this? Is this what my life has become now? Is this what I want from my life? Of course you don't, because it feels so uncomfortable. Of course you don't want to be here. But actually, you know, are you gonna partake in this? Are you gonna continue to feel like, oh my God, I want this person, I don't want them. Maybe if I said this wrong, maybe if I said that wrong. Stop. Stop overthinking this. They are toxic. They are wrong. And the fact that you are here on this live means that you would have been looking for explanations. You would have been looking for answers, looking up narcissistic abuse people that talk about it. You came across me and now you're here on this live. You've got the answers already. This is what I'm trying to say, is you already know who they are. You already know that these people are toxic. They have a personality disorder. Do you know how serious that is? Do you know how serious a label that is? The average Joe out there doesn't have a personality disorder. It's literally 1 in 5 people in this world that has a personality disorder. That's a lot, but it's not, if you know what I mean. So what we are looking at here, or what's going on here, is these people are not okay. Like, you don't do that. The fact that you are even experiencing this type of abuse, trauma bonding is an abuse, right, that continues long after this person is gone. This is secondary type of abuse, and it leads to PTSD, anxiety, depression, that literally disables you from living your life. So what are you going to do about it? Okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to want to experience this, stay in this trauma? It's trauma bond for longer? You've got to make that choice. You know, you've got to get through this. You know what this is. You know who they are. What are you going to do? How are you going to change your life around? How are you going to make this better for you? What choices are you going to make? Because look, you can sit here thinking, you can even go to therapy, talking about it, you know, with your therapist. You can talk about your friends, your family. But what you're doing is you're talking about it. So what you're doing is you're staying in victim mentality. And that is the worst place to be. You know, in this life, there's 2 types of people. I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. 2 types of people. And you know what they are, guys? They're the sinkers and the swimmers. Which one are you? Are you going to sink or are you going to swim? Are you going to fight for your freedom? Because it starts here and then this follows. Thank you so much, Mitch. This is the 3rd time. Lucky me. On a lighter note, I bet a lot on soccer here in the US. Who is your football team? Mitch, I am really going to disappoint you. I am really going to disappoint you, Mitch. I'm sorry. I don't like football. But the thing is, in the UK, oh my God, literally everyone goes crazy. I don't like football. So I don't have a football team that I support. Sorry. So trauma. That's what you're engaging in day after day, trauma. You want to stay there? Are you going to swim or are you going to sink? Because it's ultimately either one of them 2. Are you going to put a stop to all of that communication with those people? Because it's up to you. It's up to you whether you want this cycle to continue, whether you want this person in your life. Again, it's your choice. all right? It is your choice. Either you say no and you block them, or you go no contact and you stay no contact. It is going to hurt. It is going to hurt because it's not easy. You know, both of those options, whether you do stay no contact or whether you do get rid of them, both are going to hurt you. But one is going to keep you trapped. One is going to continue to abuse you. The other, you're going to get free eventually. Nothing in life you don't get without putting a bit of effort in, all right? There isn't an easy way out of this. These people are not well, and they want to take something from you, mainly your soul, your energy, you. BPD cares too much, NPD doesn't care. Do you know what? I don't think that there is much difference between a borderline personality disorder and a narcissistic personality disorder. I do know that yes, you're right, the borderline probably shows a lot more emotions, but really deep down at the bottom of it, it's not real. They don't really feel emotions the same way that we do. Remember, these people have gone through really harsh trauma, all right, in their childhood, which disconnects them from their emotions. Do you remember what I was saying last week in the live? When you are disconnected from your emotions, you don't feel. And so that's the body's way of trying to work through trauma, like trying to understand trauma. So this is the only way that our body can cope with it. So if we don't feel, we're not going to get hurt. So that's why they are like this. And they have no empathy because, you know, if you can't feel, if you're not connected to yourself, then how are you going to feel somebody else? That, you know, it doesn't work. So this is where it's an emotional disability, ultimately. That's what happens. So trauma in childhood does this. So can you imagine, right? Can you imagine living a life where you don't feel? Do you know how devastating that is? Because we go through life to feel. But these people don't feel. They pretend to feel. They pretend to experience emotions. But they don't feel. And it's really, it's actually quite sad. But the thing is, it's not our job to save them. We can't save them. Look at what they have done. You are here now with a trauma bond because of them, because they can't feel, because of what has happened. And you see, you can't, do you know what? You can't fix someone. It doesn't work like that. Like, this person has a disability, has an emotional disability. And this isn't something that can be fixed. You can't fix this with therapy. I know that there's people out there that think that you can, and that's fine. You know, that's their opinion, and I respect that. But you can manage things with medication, but it doesn't get fixed. So the fact that, you know, you're trying to help this person, you're trying to, you know, put all of your all into it, it's a fruitless task because it's not going to happen. These people go through these cycles of emotions, all right? One time they're all for it, they like really want you, and then the next they don't. And you see, you end up, the longer that you stay with these people, or these people are in your life, okay, the more that you pick up the traits. So like, think about it. The people, this is why it is really important to be careful who you have in your life, who you have around you, okay? Because you pick up those people's or those persons' traits, personality. You even pick up the way that they think. So again, do you want this? Do you want to feel this trauma bond for longer than you should? Guys, if you're enjoying this, please do hit the like button. I would really, really appreciate that. And it supports me. Thank you. So really, it's a conscious choice, all right, whether you are going to have, right, whether you are going to have this person in your life. Because you're going to pick up their energy again. They're going to control you. Oh, and they're so going to manipulate you. They're going to tell you what to do. They're going to tell you how to feel. They're going to take from you. This cycle can go on and on, you know, if you let it. But it's ultimately you that says no. Thank you so much, Richard. You and Lisa Romano help. I'm glad that we have both helped you. Charlotte, that was brilliant. Lay down with dogs, come up with fleas. Oh, yes. That's what happens. That is exactly what happens. Eric says, how do they have no empathy? Childhood trauma. They do it because that's how they've learned to cope with it all, actually, is to disconnect. You know, when you do experience trauma to the level that these people have, all right, these adversities, they've not had resilience, they've not had that foundation, you know, those people behind them that care about them, that want to help them. Because, do you know what? There are people out there who do suffer adversities. You know, there could be sexual trauma in childhood, which is really serious. There's other types of trauma in childhood where parents perhaps maybe are quite, you know, controlling or manipulative to their children. You know, there's lots of traumas, different types of traumas that happen. You know, there could be like, I don't know, an earthquake. You know, that's an environmental trauma. But it all boils down to actually how that child's resilience is, how they are constructed, how do they see, how is their perspective. Okay, so for a narcissist or someone with personality disorder, like a borderline with personality disorder, right? They go through this adversity, okay, and they don't have that support system. They don't have that someone who can help them, who can nurture them, who can love them. They don't have the building blocks emotionally to be able to cope with life. So what they do is they then build this exterior around them, which kind of, they let their guard down sometimes. And what they do is they hate the fact that other people haven't gone through the same type of trauma or the same experiences that they have. So they can't understand healthy people. So what they want to do is they want to hurt healthy people. They want to hurt others because it makes them feel better. They feel like, why should I be the only one that is suffering this? There's a jealousy behind it. There's a maliciousness behind it. You know, like, I don't know, like, you know, like when you're at school and, I don't know, because this happened to me. So this is why I'm using this as an example. I was at school and this was when I was like, I think, yeah, junior school. And I really, really wanted these pair of trainers. I think they were Fila trainers. I loved them. I absolutely loved them. And I asked my parents to get them and they said, no, we're not going to buy them for you. I was like, what? Why? I really want them. Like, they are the best. I want them. They said no. So I was like, okay. Well, I wasn't like, okay, I was really devastated. I was very sad. And so I was jealous. I was jealous that this girl had these trainers that I wanted. But it's kind of like the same thing, you know, like, so when a narcissist sees that somebody else didn't suffer what they did, or what they had in childhood, they become jealous and they want to destroy. No, I didn't destroy the girl's trainers. I'm just saying that I was just jealous of her trainers because I wanted them. But for a narcissist, the difference here, or you know, someone with personality disorder, the difference here is that they will want to go and destroy. They want to hurt you because when they hurt you, it gives them pleasure. And that's the difference. Hurting someone else will give them pleasure. Now, I know that if you wanted to hurt someone else, or this would never cross your mind, because why would you want to hurt someone else? You know, it's like, okay, you know, this thought it doesn't even comprehend. What color? Do you know what color they were? They were purple. I know, how disgusting. But as a kid, I just thought they were really cool. I did have white DMs, actually. I do love my DMs. But that was when I was a kid, not now. Haha. So, look. You know who they are. You know what they do. That's a really good point, actually. Jealousy is normal. Pathological jealousy is not. Yeah, you're right, Nelson. There's a very, very, very big difference. And that's what the point I was trying to make. There's this like inborn need to hurt someone else, to make somebody else feel pain, and then you get pleasure from it. And this is where the manipulation is. This is where they try and manipulate because they want to hurt others. Because that makes them feel so good that someone else is hurting and it's not just them. That they can feel something, that they are real, like they're included in this. And it's like I said at the beginning of this live, these people are lost. These people are lost. Spiritually, they are lost. This isn't what one human does to another. That's not what this is about. You don't go around hurting others. You know, you don't go around lying, manipulating, sleeping with other people behind your back. You know, multiple partners. That's not what another human does to another human. And it goes far beyond the fact that it's respect or kindness. It's not even about that. Human beings don't do that to another because you have empathy. Because you care about others. Even though you don't know them personally, you just wouldn't want to do that. But you see, with these type of individuals, they don't have that filter. They don't have that. So that's why for them, it doesn't cross their mind. They just do whatever brings them pleasure at that moment. They are impulsive and they have so much darkness within them. You know, they are feeling so rotten. They're feeling so anxious, so depressed. But their depression is a lot darker than others. Like, it's really, really deep, like it's dark. And they don't show you. They don't show you this because they try to mask it by feeling better. And I think this is where we get stuck because we're trying to figure out, like, actually, you know, have I got relationships wrong? Like, is it okay for people to sleep behind my back? Is it okay for someone to manipulate me? Is it okay for someone to do this? Like, maybe I'm too soft. Maybe I have got this wrong. No. Oh my God, no. Like, that isn't normal. People don't behave like that. That is wrong. It's abusive. Because when you trust someone, when you, I don't know, when you bond to someone, you attach to someone, you fall in love with someone, you trust them, and you don't ever think that someone will betray your trust or betray you in this way, which is why I feel like trauma bonds really are betrayal bonds. It's someone who has betrayed you. So to your face, they will say or do one thing, but then behind your back, something completely different is going on. And again, that is not normal. People don't do that. Human beings don't do things like that. Because that's not right. Like, you know that deep down in your soul, that isn't right. Jorge House says, do they know they are doing this? Oh, yes. They know. They know. It's like what I explained earlier. You know, they feel jealous. They feel annoyed that you haven't gone through this. There's this instability of thoughts. Like, 1 minute they're okay, like they're feeling really happy. They're telling you, I love you, I want you, you're the most amazing thing, and we're going to have this future together. And then the next, it's like, I hate you, and I don't want to speak to you, and then they block you, or they don't say anything to you, or they're putting you down. Patricia Brown says, yes, they do know how horrible they are, and this is what they try to hide. Hide horrible is their true self. Faize says, Anushka, lots of us are wondering about how they will treat their children. Right, okay, so children. So they can't connect to their children either. They can't, they don't really have that kind of parental bond with their children. It's very much like they see their children as an extension of themselves. So what I mean by that is they can see what their children can do for them. So, for example, they will want their child, I don't know, to play football when that child doesn't want to, but they have to. So they will make their children do things to please them. So again, the relationship is very transactional. My throat is so dry. Right. So, yes, it is very, very transactional. And George, you're absolutely right. Almost like they're possessed by a demon. If you knew how true that was. Yes, and Dr. Sam Vaknin has lectures about the dead mother. Yeah, I mean, he is, I don't know, I can't watch him, it's his voice. But yeah, if it really helps you guys, then yeah, go and watch some of those lectures. But you're right, the verbal assassin, borderlines love bomb, devalue and discard and then get bored, just like the narcs. This is what I mean. There isn't much difference between borderline personality disorder or narcissistic personality disorder. At the end of the day, they're both cluster Bs. They're both personality disorders. They exhibit very, very similar traits. I don't think that there's much difference between the two. Yet most people are diagnosed with borderline personality disorder rather than narcissism. Narcissism is really, really hard to detect because it's to do with interpersonal relationships, and that's the issue. You know, you can't. It's really hard to diagnose someone unless you've been kind of in a relationship with them. So that's why most people get diagnosed with borderline. I agree, Papa. You said borderlines are much more overt with their splitting. Yeah, it's either one or the other. They're either like, oh my God, like you're amazing. They're like, it's literally their energy is like all over you. They want you. I find that borderlines also are quite sexual as well, sexual in nature, especially females. Men are a lot more charming. But they are, yeah, like women are a lot more overtly sexual, or hypersexual, like over-sexualized. The BPD women are. This is why they do have a lot of sexual partners. They like go from one to the next. Male narcs do the same, you know, exactly the same. So, you know, there are similarities, but there are differences depending, obviously, on the gender of them. But both, yeah, lots of sexual partners. Like there's no, what's the word? There's no remorse. They just sleep with everybody. You know, because it gives them that attention. It makes them feel special for that moment, and that's what they're looking for. You know, can BBDs look inward at all? Kay asks. No, they don't, because there's a separation of self. There is no connection to self, and this is what you guys have to remember: is that there is a disconnection from who they really are. They are half in this life and half in fantasy world. Like, can you, like, guys, can you, like, I'm going to say that again. They are half in this world and half in fantasy world. Like, they're not okay. Like, who lives like this? When you have such a devastating, having a personality disorder is really serious. It's a really serious disorder. You know it because you will have lived through it. You've known what it's like to be with someone who has got it. Charlotte says, Anushka, have you seen the Narcissistic Great Santini movie starring Robert Duvall? No, I haven't. Charlotte, will you do me a favor? I do actually want to watch this. when the live stream has ended, and or maybe tomorrow or the other day, will you type it into the comments, and I'll find it, because it's going to go and I'm not going to be able to see it. So if you just type it in, I will find that movie and watch it. So yeah, having a personality disorder is a very, very serious thing. Okay, there's a disconnection, there's an inability with interpersonal relationships. Do you know how serious that is? These people just, you see how destructive they are. They need treatment, yet a lot of them don't get that. And they just, you know, a lot of them are not medicated. And a lot of them go out there and wreak havoc in people's lives. And they have in your life. The reason why I'm talking about this quite a lot is because, is this the person that you are missing? Is this the person that you want back into your life? You want them around you? You want them to be in your life? You talking to them, you know, you engaging, exchanging energy, them taking, feeding you lies, telling you what you want to hear. You really got to think about that. Is this who you're going to stay in a trauma bond with? I know, I'm just thinking as I'm saying this, I know that this session or this live session is quite hard hitting. I mean, I could have come on here talking about, you know, take walks into nature, do things that make you feel good. Sure, okay, do that. But what I'm trying to do here is trying to get you to see the perspective of this situation, because it's really your choice. You know, with everything else that's going on out there, and you guys know what I mean, because things are not what they seem to be. And obviously I'm going to have to be very careful with what I'm saying and what words I'm saying on here, but you guys know what I mean. With everything else that's going on out there, and I know that a lot of you see through this, okay, can you see also how narcissistic and toxic, you know, certain institutions are? Can you see how, you know, you are being manipulated, how you were forced to stay at home for just the common cold that are out there? Manipulation, control, surveillance. Does this fit the profile of someone that you know? So with everything else that's going on out there, you have to become wise. All right, you have to become wise and see through this. Or are you going to be a sheep and follow and just accept what has happened to you? You know, just accept that you are going to go through this trauma bond, and you're just going to be like, I'm just going to lay down and take it because my life is over. I feel like this. They have left. They have gone. And you're just going to take it, right? You have to fight for your freedom. You have to fight for your soul. You have to fight for you. Because you're going to go down under. You have to gain awareness and clarity. Are you looking after yourself? Are you sleeping? Are you eating? Are you educating yourself? Sure, you're going through cognitive dissonance and your head feels like fog because of the lies, because of everything that you've been told, because you've been manipulated. But are you going to take that? You know that they are lies. You know what this person has told you is lies, and you've caught them out, and they've still lied to your face. So let me ask you again. Is this the person that you're missing? Is this the person that you want in your life? It's the same what we are told out there. lies on the TV, lies in the news. You know it's lies. You know it's not true. You're going to sit there like sheep and just take it. Like with a trauma bond, you're just going to sit there and take it, right? Are you going to sink? Or are you going to swim? AA, Anushka, I'm trying, but it's so hard. It is hard. I know it's hard. And it's soul-wrenching. But at the end of the day, it's either you or them. Are you going to go down like this? So you need to look after you. This is what I mean. Are you educating yourself? Are you, listening to podcasts, watching, videos to help you understand, help you to get through this, making your mind strong? Are you navigating your mind? Are you feeding your mind the information, that you want to hear, that you need to hear? None of this is your fault. Like, you didn't deserve it. I'm not saying that you did. But this is going to be the biggest fight of your life, because you're going to be fighting for your soul. You're going to be fighting for your life. You need to start eating. You need to start sleeping, because this is what's going to bring back energy, regulate your hormones. You're going to need this power to help you understand, to help you work this out, to help educate you to get through this. There is no other way. I mean, sure, you can go to your doctor and they can give you sleeping pills, they can give you antidepressants, but how long are you going to be on them? And you know how damaging they are as well, taken long term. You want to be addicted to that? You're going to continue taking substances or drinking alcohol to cope. For how long are you going to do that? Until you become addicted to this substance, because in your mind you've constructed that this is going to help you get through it. Again, they want you to be addicted to things. They want you to feel weak. They don't want you to get strong. They don't want you to start thinking for yourself. The trauma bond is great because you remain passive. You don't fight out. You don't speak out. You don't think. You just stay silent and you just take it like the sheep. You just take it. You are going to swim. You're absolutely right. Each and every one of you has got to learn to swim. Because when you go down, when you sink to the bottom, I'll tell you something, it's really hard to get back up. But you've got a choice. You've got an opportunity, guys. You have an opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. You've got a choice right now. Do you choose your life or your death? And it's as simple as that. Gosh, that went a bit heavy, didn't it? Well, how are you guys doing? Oh, please don't forget, if you're enjoying this live, because I know it's a bit intense, but these trauma bonds are intense. Yeah, just please do press the like button. Absolutely. Thank you, Faize. Thank you for joining. Robbie Phillips says, trauma bond is the worst thing I have ever experienced in my life. And I have to think I'm a strong person, didn't even know it was happening to me. Wow. Well done, Robbie. You know what? You are a strong person. You guys are all strong. Because you are here helping yourselves get through this. You're educating yourselves. And that's what you've got to do. The way that you educate, the way that the mind remembers is through repetition. Same thing over and over. Think about it, right? Think about it. When you were learning to drive a car, you weren't born knowing how to drive a car. At first, it was really difficult, because I remember when I was learning to drive, I really couldn't. I was learning in a manual. So I really couldn't, understand the clutch gas situation. Oh my God, do you know how many times I stalled? I stalled so many times. I got so frustrated with myself. I do these things. And then I stormed out of the car with the driving instructor and I said, I'm never driving. I can't do this. drama queen. But you know what? I passed first time. I think I was 17 when I passed my driving license. Oh my God, I was so happy. I was so happy. Very, very happy with that. So the thing that taught me was repetition. And the way that I learned to drive was actually with my uncle. My uncle in Poland. I was 16, 15, 16. And he had one of those old Fiat 600s. It was disgusting. It was like a yellow color. But I didn't care because we used to drive it in the parking lot. And what I used to do, just for jokes, obviously, I used to drive it in a circle, so it used to make that skid noise, and I thought I was so cool. I thought it was so cool. I used to do like wheel spins, because we could just like rag the car. Obviously, couldn't do that with my dad's car because he would have killed me. But my uncle was like, "Yeah, do you know what, Nishka, just go for it." So I had so much fun, like in this parking space, just learning to drive the car, and that gave me the confidence. But anyway, I'm digressing here. I am digressing here. Press like, guys, if you're enjoying this so far. But what I'm trying to say is that the mind remembers with repetition. So if you do something over and over again, it's going to remember, and it's going to come like second nature. So I'm sure that probably like the majority of you drive that are on this live. And that's what I mean. When you guys, were kids, you didn't know how to drive, but it was over time that you practiced and you learnt, and you did it over and over, and you learnt. It's like when you were revising for your exams, your maths or your English or whatever it was that you were trying to remember for the exam. You had to remember it, you had to read it and read it and read it, and read it one more time. And then you done really well in your exam. So the mind remembers through repetition. So it's saying things over and over again. And this is why affirmations are really good. But this is also when you're trying to program your mind, this is how it works. When you're trying to program your mind to do a certain thing. So for example, you're trying to get over this trauma bond. You're trying to motivate yourself, to get through this, not think about them, you've got to consciously keep doing it. So you want to stop thinking about someone, you want to stop caring about someone, you've got to keep remembering who this person is and what they have done to you, the truth or the reality of the matter. There's no point start thinking, going all soft and gooey inside thinking, but, we had so many good times. So what? Look what they did. Look how they made you feel, and look how you're feeling right now. That isn't love. If this was love, you would be in a completely different position or situation than you are right now. You wouldn't be here. You would not be here. You guys would still be together. You guys would be living your best lives together. This person would be supporting you. But instead what? Instead nothing. Instead they tried to bring you down. They tried to ruin you with their lies, with their manipulation. That is the truth. And that is what you've got to keep reminding yourself. This isn't about some, lovey-dovey story that, this fairy tale that suddenly they're gonna realize what they have done to you, and they're going to say, sorry. I'm really sorry. Get your head out of the sand. This is not going to happen. They don't do that. You know what? They're with someone else right now. They're doing this with someone else. So you got to remember this when you are starting to think, I miss them. What are they up to? Maybe I'll just check on their social media. Maybe I just find out of someone else, what they're doing. Why do you care? Why do you even care? Look what they did to you. Look how they made you feel. This person isn't going to get better. This person isn't going to change. This is them. This is what they have done. It is your responsibility to stick up for yourself, to protect yourself. They ruin, or they tried to ruin you. Stuart, you can't do anything, I'm destroyed. You gonna let her? Are you gonna let her really do this, make you feel like this? Stuart, you are gonna get through this. And I'm glad that you're on this live, because she's presented this illusion that she has destroyed you. This is what she wants you to think. This is what she wants you to believe. But actually, Stuart, you're a hell of a lot stronger than that. Because the fact that you are educating yourself, you've got to keep going forward. You can't sink like this. You can't allow this person to do this to you. You've got to rise up. You've got to make that choice and see it for what it really is. I know right now you might be feeling destroyed, ruined, at the dark depths. You got to keep climbing. Stuart, you got to keep climbing. You got to do things for yourself. Remember, this is mind control, ultimately. What's going on here keeps you stuck. It's mind programming, mind control. So you've got to, remember what I was saying, you've got to learn through repetition. You just got to keep repeating it, remembering who she is, what she has done, and what she represents. She hasn't ruined you. Actually, she's done you a favor. You got away from something that was so dark, so nasty, so destructive. You now have your life back. That's the perspective you should see it from. You now have your life back. You can do this. There's people here on this live stream who have got through it. I am also one of them. So I know what trauma bonds are like. But you get through it. Yes, that's right, Charlotte. MK Ultra Beyond. Yes, obviously can't talk about too much, but you are absolutely right. Mind control. For those of you that don't know what that is, please do look it up. Please do look up mind control, MK Ultra, so you can see what this is about. I can't talk about it on here. Guys, if you are liking this live, please do press the like button, and you may want to donate as well. I would be really grateful for that, because it really does help to support the channel and the information here that you are seeing. Hearing, rather. Seeing, hearing, same thing. Deb says they try to train us like dogs. Conditioning. Yeah, it's conditioning. Because when someone, right, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. When someone who doesn't have pure intentions wants to control another person or manipulate another person, so ultimately they want you to see the reality, their illusion mixed with probably 10% of reality. Because their reality to them is very real. Remember, it's very dark. It's very depressive. It's also very sad. They are stuck in victimhood because, again, they believe that they were a victim of their childhood, which, yeah, okay, like they are, but they are purposely feel trapped in this label of victimhood. And they want to bring you into that reality. They want you to save them. And that's what I mean. Like when I talk about this a lot in my videos, when I say that they want your attention, they want your kindness, your empathy, they basically want to embody you, enmesh you into their world, so that basically their darkness, their depression becomes yours. So that you can feel what they feel, because then that they believe that is union. They believe that really, like, that is the most important thing, that's what bonds you together. And in a way it does. Because look where you are now. Trauma, bond. So when they are bringing you into that energetic exchange, they are making you feel their pain, because they feel like if you feel their pain, if you understand them, then you, yes, you know how to make them feel better. You know how to bring them out of this darkness, to make them feel whole, to make them feel one person. So they want to engulf you so that the two of you become one. So you and this person are enmeshed. And by that, I mean they can control, they can manipulate you so that you are a slave. And that's what they do. They entrap you into this delusion, all right? And you see it. You see it. Do you know, I actually was looking at drawings. I was looking through drawings of people who did art therapy, like people who had like borderline, or people who had like various personality disorders, actually maybe even schizophrenia. And what I found is that a lot of them, the way that they described, or the way that they could visually show how they were feeling, you know what they drew? They drew eyes, like lots and lots of eyes looking at them, particularly the people with personality disorders. So they felt like there was something out there that was watching them, looking at them. So they described it as lots of eyes. I guess what that's saying is that they don't feel themselves, they don't feel embodied to themselves. And this is the separatedness that they feel because of the trauma, because of maybe childhood trauma, childhood adversities. They feel like they are not themselves, so they're being watched from the outside in. And this is quite worrying. Like, this is huge if you really think about it. And what was saying in this article was they were saying that a lot of this is because they don't feel themselves. They feel disconnected from themselves. They don't feel, so their emotions aren't their own. And, you know, like them kind of expressing it through art, and they drew eyes, just means that maybe they are being, I don't know, like watched. Maybe they feel watched. Maybe they feel like they've got to be someone, be something. But yeah, it's really interesting that, like, literally, I think it was like 60 to 80% drew eyes. It explains a lot. Charlotte, I completely agree with you. I really do believe that as well. I can't say it out here, but yes, I completely agree with your comment. I think that too. Indeed, they are energy vampires, and they suck the life out of you completely. They do. They take so much. And so let me ask that question again. Are you missing this? Like, is this what you want back into your life? Lauren says, quick question. I always felt like even though I got over my narc, we're always going to be connected in some way, and am I the only one who thinks like this? Lauren, no, you're not. A lot of people do think like this, and I know that a lot of my clients actually say that, like, I still feel connected to them in some way. Lauren, what I would say is probably like an energy cutting kind of ritual or something. It's like, do you know what? I was speaking to a friend, and actually I was saying that, you know, like when you think of, like, I don't know, when I think of narcissistic people, I feel like their energy is like an octopus, you know, like they have these tentacles and they're like coming out for you, like they try to grab you, or like black tar that comes over you. I guess I see it like in like spiky energy. That's how I see it. So Does anyone else see it like that? Because like I see tentacles of an octopus just coming for you. But that's the energy that they're still trying to hold on to you. They're still trying to get that from you. And this is the trauma bond. Trauma bond. The bond. This is the energetic bond that actually you have to see it for what it is. And that's what I mean. It's like, it's all about perspective. What can, how are you going to see this? How are you seeing like the perspective of this trauma bond? You've got to cut ties. You've got to see it for what it really is. You're really going to let this person take you down like this? Take your life away from you because you're going to spend serving them? Slaves? Slavery? Isn't this like emotional slavery? The trauma bond does hurt. The trauma bond is painful. But most things in life, you have to work for, to gain something. I'm not saying like go over the top, but, if you're doing something that means something to you, you're going to have to put some effort in. It's not going to be easy. Trauma bonds aren't easy. And even though you still feel connected to this person, you kind of still want to help them in some way because you feel sorry for them, because you have empathy. But are you going to save them and torture your soul forever at your expense? You want to save them at your expense. It's as cutthroat as that. It's either you or them. Either you live, they die. They live, you die. Angelica, you know what? You know that the relationship was toxic and you keep romanticizing, but it's like what I was saying earlier. What are you actually missing? What are you missing about this person who put you down, who controlled you, manipulated you, possibly even cheated on you with multiple people? What are you actually missing? That? It's a lie, all right? These people don't connect. These people don't connect emotionally. They see you as slaves. They see you as you doing something for them. This is transactional. This isn't typical, normal human behavior. This is abnormal behavior. Abnormal motivations of being in a relationship or being a human. Den, don't worry about the payback. Karma will come for them. Closure, you know what? Your closure is this. You know that they're toxic. You know that they are narcissistic. They're toxic. They try to destroy you. But karma is coming for them. You don't need to do anything. Sit back, eat some popcorn, watch what happens next. Do you know what? When people do you wrong, all right? When people do you wrong, you don't need to get payback. You don't even need to raise your voice. You don't need to do nothing. Because I really, really believe in karma. So if someone does you wrong, fine. Okay. Karma is coming for you. And it does. It really, really does. So don't worry about it. You might also, I don't know, I was just thinking this. You might also think that, you know what, these people, they're doing all right. Like, they've got rid of you, or, they keep coming back to you, then leaving again, keep coming back to you, then leaving again. You might think that they are living their best life. You might think that they are living their life. Their life is better. Actually, without you now, they can do whatever they want. They're living their life and, it's good. And they're kind of moving on without you. They've left you behind. Again, it's the fantasy. You're looking at this from the illusion. How can someone like this, what we have been talking about, go on to then live their life? to then go on and live the best possible life. Do you really think that they are living? Do you really think that they are enjoying themselves? When I've talked about this dark cycle of thoughts, these dark, they might even be having suicidal thoughts, but they're not going to tell you that. Do you know what? Probably every day, they probably think that they don't want to be here, that they want to kill themselves. But they're never going to show that to you. If they do, it's a cycle. It's not true. So you might think, okay, these people have moved on and they've got the life that they want. It's an illusion. It's fake. They are suffering. They are suffering inside. And, there's a part of them that is lost in this, and they're trying to grab onto these other people to give them that validation, to give them that attention, to give them what they don't have, So what I'm trying to say to you is, see the wood from the trees. See this for what this really is. This trauma bond keeps you stuck, keeps you thinking that actually maybe, do you know what? Maybe I can help this person. Maybe I can save them. Maybe I've got this wrong in my head about this relationship. Maybe I can make this better. Maybe, the two of us can go forward in our lives and it will be fine. I can just show them how much I love them. I can show them that everything's going to be okay. But that's just it. That is the trauma of the situation that keeps you still bonded to that person, that keeps you stuck. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say to this person. They are never going to see you. They can't accept your love because they've not received love in their life as children. So how are they going to recognize it when you are giving them love, unconditional love, doing everything for them, and it's still not enough? How are they going to see that now in their adulthood when they don't know what it is? They didn't have it as children. You can't teach someone this, because if it's not there to begin with, you can't teach them this. And why would you want to? Are you their parent? Are you their teacher? Are you their counselor, therapist? Who are you? Is it your job? So you got to look at it like this. You're going to spend your time and your energy thinking about how perhaps maybe you can help this person, how maybe you can get them to see, how you're going to still engage in communication or connection with this person when you know what they've done. You know what they have done to you. You know what they are about. Of course, Angelica, of course you keep thinking that they're happy with their new supply. That's the illusion. That's the lie. Come on, you know what's waiting for her, the new one. You know what is coming up for her and what she is going to go through. So what I'm going to say to you is this. The person that you met at the beginning of this relationship isn't the person that leaves this relationship. There's a few different people. There's a few different personalities. And it's really hard for us to get our head around the fact that these people are completely different to how we got to know them at the beginning. But how you got to know this person at the beginning was, again, the illusion, the lie. They pretended to be you. They become obsessive. They're probably very obsessed with you. This is what mirroring is. This is what love bombing is. It goes over and above, like a little bit weird even. These people were obsessed with you. Your energy, the way that you look, your personality, because they want to draw you in. They wanted to draw you in. They wanted you to love them because they idealized you. They put you on a pedestal and they worshipped you. Don't get me wrong. that feels amazing, right? Like, it feels so good for someone to do that, like someone to feel that strongly about you. But it's not real. That isn't real. It might feel good, drinking from the devil's cup. It might feel good, but it's not real. So they draw you in. So this is how you remember this person. That is, like first impressions count, because they do. Because our mind does, we build constructs of people, all right? We build constructs of people. So we get to learn what somebody is like at the beginning stages of getting to know someone. So we get to know what they are like, okay? And what happens is that we build this perception of someone based on the way that we got to know them. So of course it's going to feel good, like when someone is being really lovely to you, someone is, idealizing you, putting you on a pedestal. You're going to think, oh my gosh, like this feels nice. This person's so lovely, and this is how you think of them. So when the insidious nature, or when this covert nature starts creeping in, like for example, they start to remove themselves from you, they start pulling back from the relationship, and you're like, what's going on? What's going on? Why is this happening? Why don't you want me? Have I done something wrong? You question yourself because you think, how I got to know this person, like they're not usually like this. They must be stressed, or they must be tired, like let's let them off. So you make excuses for this person, and you think, okay, like I'll help you. I'll help you out. So it's very hard for the brain then to fathom that actually, or see what is going on, to see that actually this is the beginnings of this toxic bond, this betrayal bond, this trauma bond that you are feeling, because you're scrambling around trying to make this person feel better, but all the while they know what they're doing. They know that if they give you everything and you feel good, and then they take it away, you're going to want more of that good stuff. So they know that you are going to do everything you can to get that good stuff back. It's basic human psychology. Like, for example, put everyone into lockdown, lock you in your homes, give you a little bit of freedom, lock you back in. Just saying. So this principle really works because it's mind control, it's conditioning. It's conditioning you, or priming you, to believe a certain set of beliefs. So your belief is that this person is good for me, when actually they are your abuser. This is what the trauma bond is. This is why you're going to and fro. You're thinking, oh my God, I can't get over them. I really want them. They're so nice to me. They're so good. Like, we did have good times. But then you feel really awful. But then you want them back. But then you feel awful. Can you see how this is, the elements of mind control? Basic human psychology. They keep you in fear, so you don't think outside the box. So you just conform. You're like, yeah, okay, yeah. I'll do that, yes. Because they are a nice person. They're just stressed at the moment. Guys, if you're enjoying this live, please do give it a like. And please consider, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And maybe making a small donation, because it really helps me out. So, priming someone psychologically, that's what it's about. Keeping someone in fear, just giving them a little bit to keep them on the hook. Because they know that you want that good stuff. They know. They know how to do that as well. So this is why they are conscious of what they're doing. They know what they are doing. Because remember, you're their slave. You're the one that's going to save them from feeling like this. People who do this to others are not okay. They're not well. Remember that in this day and society, narcissism is encouraged. So it also goes very undetected. So these people, they're walking around amongst us, undiagnosed, unmedicated. So you see, Sean, you're absolutely right. No second chances. Second chances for what? What, to do this again to you? Oh, you guys want this to happen to you again? Right. Remember, you are being controlled. You are their slave, emotional slave. To just be there for them, just do whatever it is that they want. This is mind control. It's the same basic principles. It's really sad that so many of us have been caught out like this. Many of us didn't realize that this was happening. And it's not your fault. And it's not because, you didn't see it, or, there's something wrong with you because you didn't see it. Because when you fall in love with someone, you don't expect that people like this exist. You don't think that somebody will do this to you because, you go in with pure intentions, with a pure heart, They don't believe, or we don't believe, that this would ever happen to us. Because sure enough, we don't believe that people like that even exist, only in the horror movies or the thrillers. Yeah? So it's not that we are stupid or we are blind. It's not about that. So these people are predatory. You know why they picked you? Because you have kindness. You have compassion, you have patience. You're a good person and you want the best. You want the other person to feel good. And they see that. They see you. They want to take you. That's what it is. It's not that they want to be with you. They want to take you. How is that mindset healthy? How is that okay? They want to take you. They want to take things from you. They want to steal from you, things that you are not willing to give, but they want to take that from you because they believe it's theirs. And this is how you then stay, because you feel tricked, or you feel like maybe you can save them. Maybe this is it. They're lovely people. So you don't see it at first because they present this somebody else that's not even them. They just take something from you. Maybe the belief in other people, maybe the innocence of life, really. And they leave you thinking that everybody is like that. They really leave you thinking that actually maybe this is what life is about. Maybe I've not understood what relationships are about. Maybe it's okay for people to cheat on me. Maybe it's okay for people to lie and manipulate and whatever. They They make you believe this, which is why you then continue to also stay in the trauma bond, because you think, oh, it's okay. Like, it's fine that they've slept with someone behind my back, or a few people, it's fine. Or it's fine that they've left and they're with someone else. It's okay, but they'll come back. Is it though? Like, hello? No. You've been made to believe this because you want this person, because you have been made to believe, because you're the emotional slave, because you're in your mind, you're thinking, I can save them, I can help them. They don't mean it. They do mean it. They do know what they're doing. Yeah? So is this the person that you're missing? This person that did this to you? Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's awful to live with. Yes, you're not sleeping. Yes, you can't eat because it's like that gut wrenching in your stomach. So you need to get yourself better. You need to start educating yourself to know that this is mind conditioning, that they are trying to keep you in fear, because in the fear that you are not going to get your life back together without them, that you can't live without them. That's the fear that they're trying to feed you. They're trying to tell you, or they're trying to feed you, that actually they are the best thing that has happened to you. To keep you stuck, keep you bonded to them, so that when they are ready, they'll come back and use you for whatever means that is, for whatever motivations this person has got, and then they'll go again. Because you will never have that relationship that you had right at the beginning, because they're not going to put that effort in. They're not going to put the effort in to try and trick you, to try and, idealize you. They might re-idealize you for a little short time, but it's never going to be like what it was at the beginning. They're not going to love bomb you. They're not going to put you on a pedestal. So it's not going to happen, because they've done that already. Your time has been and gone. They've put already too much energy into it. They just want this little thing from you, whether that could be sex, whether that's your money, whether that's just, your time, whatever it is. They'll just come and use you for it, and then they'll leave. And then you will feel this all over again. So is this the person that you miss? Is this the person that you want back and continue to be in communication with? This is what you've really got to be, this is what you've got to ask yourself. Is this really what you want? Is this really what your life is about? Are you going to take it? Or are you going to get through this? Are you going to choose to get through this? There's many things that you can do that are going to help you. All right? There's so many things that you can do that can help you. But first of all, you've got to choose you. You've got to choose your life. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it hurts. But it's not going to hurt forever. This is just for now. Think about where you're going to be, say, in 4 weeks' time, 2 months' time, 3, 1 year. Where are you going to be? Who do you want to be? How are you going to carve your life to live your life? Because so much of it has already been taken by them. Are you going to keep going in this cycle, back and forth? Back and forth, because that's all it is. And do you know what? There's many people out there who are stuck in this cycle for all of their lives. And I really, really feel sorry for them, because each time that this person comes back into their life, it tears them down. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, thank you. Anushka, narcs are like the movie It Follows. Yes, I've seen that film. I have, Chris. Thank you so much. Yeah. They follow. They watch. They watch you. They do watch you. I have many videos about this, guys. They do watch. You know why they watch you? Because they want to know that they can come back. They want to know that they can still affect you. They want to know that they have still got you wrapped around their little finger and they're coming for you. until you say no, until you choose your life, until you do something about it. You know, they make us think that we have no power, that we have no say. Remember what I was saying? They keep you in fear. All right? They believe that you have no power. They make you believe that. But actually, the opposite is true. You're the one that is in power. You're the one that has all the power. And do you know how powerful no is? You've got to choose yourself, all right? You've got to choose yourself in this life because, you know, where has it got you up until now? Like, where has all of this got you? You know, are you where you want to be in your life? Are you where you dreamed of being? You know, as a kid, what did you want to be? An astronaut? I don't know. A zookeeper? Did you ever believe that your life was going to end up like this? That you were going to be in this position? Trying to be taken down by some person who is not well? Do you know that our lives are so precious? That we have so much to learn while we are here? And do you know what? Life can be so magical, so freeing. But remember, if you exist in this prison in your mind and you think that things are not possible, that you can't do this, you can't achieve these things, then you're forever going to be thinking like that. Because life is not like that. Life is actually magical. Life is there for living, for experiencing so many things. And if you're there thinking, oh, I feel lonely, I'm all by myself, you are never alone. You are never alone. You know, I spend a lot of time on my own, and I'm fine with that. I'm okay. And I never feel alone. Do you know why? Because I am my own best friend. I love hanging out with myself, so I don't get bored. So, you know, all of these things that I'm saying to you, I've experienced them. And yes, I'm on the other side. And these are the things that I did. No, it wasn't easy. Yes, and it does take work. But you know what? If I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing special about me. You guys can do this. You need to get to the other side to experience this. Don't get me wrong, like I have bad days. Like my life isn't all rainbows and fairies and unicorns. It's not like that all the time, you know. But realistically, life is magical. It really is. There's so many things. There's so many things to experience, to have. Asking, Anushka, how can I contact you directly? So in the description box there, I've got all my details there. You can contact me on either one of those social media channels, emails, or through my website. If you're staying in this trauma bond and believing, you know, keeping your mind in a prison, believing that you're never going to get through this, that you're never going to be able to have your life back together, that's the prison. That's the prison that you put yourself into. Oh, and they help, obviously. They make you believe that. You are free. You are more powerful than you think. You can have anything you want in your life. You honestly can. You can do anything that you want. You're probably thinking, oh yeah, I need money for that. I need to be able to have money to do what I want to do. Go and make it. It's as easy as that. You know, choose something that you love in your life. Because when you go to work, it will never feel like work. It will never feel like, you know, like draining, like you're doing something that you don't want to. You do something that you love. Thank you, Charlotte. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa, as well. Enlightened, what do you miss about her? Please write this in the chat box. What do you actually miss about this person? What did she mean to you? Tess says, I don't feel like I can trust anyone now, but I'm also grateful for that because I spent my whole life trusting everyone. Do you know what, Tess? You can trust people, certain people. Not everyone deserves to be trusted. But you'll be able to work that out. You can work that out. You'll know. Papa says it's all the mind games. It is the mind games. Again, it's that prison. The prison. You're going to keep your mind in a jail? Because that's what they're doing. They're doing that, creating that by fear. And these beliefs that they're being created, you know, like, they're not even true. They're just fears. And if you live in fear, then you are very malleable, meaning you can be manipulated to believing anything that that person wants you to believe. So this trauma bond also is an illusion. It's not real because you have a choice. You have a choice whether you want to participate in it or whether you don't. You have that choice. Ultimately, it's up to you. Enlightened says, I miss her telling me she loved me. When I said it to her, she said it was fake and tried to prove it until I lost everything. Enlightened, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you experienced this. I'm so sorry that, you know, you had to lose everything trying to prove yourself. But can I tell you, when someone loves you or when you love someone, you don't need to prove that love. Sure, yeah, you need to show it, but you will feel it. If someone loves you, you will feel it. You won't need to go above and beyond to try and prove it. Because you see, what was happening here was, this was the bond that you had with her. And she was always trying, you know, to get you to prove yourself to her. And she loved that attention. She loved the fact that she was able to make you do that or make you feel that. That's what it's about. So again, mind control. You do this for me. You belong to me. You're my slave. Prove your love to me. Prove that you are good enough. All of this is an illusion because enlightened, you are good enough. You don't need to prove yourself to anybody. Regardless what anybody says, you do not need to prove yourself to anybody. And I know that each and every one of you has, you know, these experiences. And so many of them, like I can see in the chat, you know, you guys are, you know, talking amongst yourself, which is so wonderful. I love that. You know, and I'm reading these experiences. I'm reading these things that, you know, you guys have gone through. And ultimately, none of this was healthy. None of this was in your best interest. It was always in the best interests of them. Because they wanted to feel good, but they used you for them to feel good. Thank you so much, Francesca. Thank you for joining the journal prompts. You have to see it for what it really is. I really hope that this live has helped you to kind of see this trauma bond, you know, like in a different way. like I said before, I didn't want to come on here and just make it, like, oh, a trauma bond is this, and this is how you get through it. And I know that this live session has been a little bit hard hitting, and maybe has sat uncomfortable for some of you. But I really wanted to bring you out of your comfort zone and really, really see it for what it is. And for you to shake you up and really make the choices that are going to be right for you. Because this is your life, all right? For whatever stage you are, whatever age you are, this is your life. And this person has taken something that they weren't supposed to, something you weren't willing to give. They've taken too much already. And you have to take that back. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about your power. Your power in this situation. Your power where, you can say no. You can remove yourself. You can stop thinking about them. This isn't about that this person has destroyed you or ruined you. That's fine if you want to sit in victim mentality. You want to be a victim, then you're a sinker. You're not a swimmer. You're a sinker if you're a victim. And the victim mentality keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck thinking these thoughts. It makes it very difficult to move on. And then what you're doing is you're making a conscious choice to stay in this, to stay a victim. Sure, we all go through adversities in life. Sure, they really hurt. Yes, sometimes it might seem like it's the end of the world, and we all kind of go through it at different stages in our lives and different varying degrees. But this is the choice that you make. You're going to stay a victim. You're going to keep remembering and recounting and re-remembering, what has happened. Why did they do this to me? Why has this happened to me? Maybe I can help them. Maybe I can fix them. That's a victim. You've got to get up and dust yourself off. Stand tall. Walk tall, hold your head up high, and walk away. And say no, shut that door once and for all, because you know this person is not bringing you any happiness. It's just trouble, it's just chaos, it's drama. What they care about the most is that whether you are giving them what they want. They don't care about you as a person. They will manipulate you. They will tell you that they can't live without you. They will, they'll threaten you. They might threaten you that they're going to kill themselves, suicide, or that they can't live without you, or that their life means nothing if you don't stay. So can you see what they're doing here? It's a manipulation. Because how is that your responsibility? How is that, you've got to save them from it? And it's like what I was saying before. Are you their therapist? Are you their mother, their father? Who are you? So, but start believing in yourselves. The only person that you should be saving is yourself. Because you matter. Because this is your life. And this is what I mean. They're hijacking your life. They are asking you to do something that actually isn't your responsibility. And I know that can be quite hard hitting. But if you're going to stay in this victim mentality, in this mind control by this other person, then you're making that choice. You're making that choice to stay there. And how is that making you feel? Do you feel good? Do you feel like, you can live your life to the fullest? Are you living your life? Like, are you experiencing things that you want to? Is this how you imagined your life to turn out? I'm sure it's not. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do today, tomorrow, how are you going to live your life on your terms? Isabel says this is a test to love ourselves enough to take care of ourselves. This is exactly it. This is about you choosing yourself. This is about choosing your life. This is about choosing you. Because yes, this trauma bond is tough. But you can get through this. You have to help yourself. You have to start thinking in a different way. You have to start seeing this in a different perspective. Because if you stay stuck thinking, I miss them, I want them back, like I can help them, I can do this, you're keeping yourself bonded to this person that didn't do anything for you. Sure, you had good times, sure, it was lovely. It doesn't matter, because you can have that again with yourself, for yourself, something that's going to mean something. And remember, these good times, this, that, whatnot, this is an illusion. It's not real. None of what they go through is real. It's like what I was saying at the beginning of this session, It's an illusion. They don't live in reality. Because they don't see or they don't perceive reality in the way that we do. They don't see it in that way. So what they're doing is they just continue to bring you into that. And that's what happens when you become blended with them. That's what they want. They want to enmesh you together so that you're the slave. They lead, you follow. That's victim mentality, wanting to stay stuck in that. So guys, I'm going to be coming off. And if there is any last minute questions that, you want to ask me, please put them on here. Again, I'm so grateful to have all of you here. I really am. Like that you've taken that time out of your day to join me. And I know that a lot of you have very busy lives, and I know that this time might not suit all of you. And I know that you're from all over the world. But I'm grateful for your participation, for you being here. It means a lot. And I really hope that this live helps you to see this, like what's going on here in a different way. Because what I ultimately want you to remember is that you have the power, okay? You have the power in every single situation in life, right? You have choices, and you can be and do, you know, whoever you want. Like, you can do whatever you want. We are led to believe that we are trapped. And yet again, this is another example. There's trauma bond. You know, you're not trapped. It's just a mind illusion, a mind control, making us believe something that isn't true. You've got to see the truth, the reality of what this is. So it's a choice. Either you sink or you swim. You choose yourself or them. You got this, guys. You have so got this. And you know what? Think about where you're going to be a year from now. In some wonderful place. Send me pictures. Tag me. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with a new video. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wednesday. Yes, I've got a new video tomorrow coming out. Hope you guys can watch it. And enjoy the rest of your day. Or if it's nighttime, good night, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.